What's up guys, it's Meg and it's that time of the week again for our weekly Walker Talk. Today we're doing a Fear the Walking Dead Season 2 Episode 2 Q&A and maybe some other comments thrown in there just for fun. The first one is actually not a question, it's a comment, but I really wanted to talk about it for a minute. It's from Caesar Gallagher. He says, "We all fall down to sleep, right? Get it? I mean, I'm sorry, but I feel like I just watched this show because I have to. It's a weird feeling. It's not bad, but it's not great. But hey, hopefully it gets better soon. Charlie is my hope." And I feel like Caesar just summed up exactly how I feel about the show. Like, I'm totally gonna watch it. I wanna watch it, but I don't love it. And it's kind of one of those feelings where I feel like I have to, just because it's Walking Dead. Like, I feel like I have to support it no matter what. But I feel the exact same way. Charlie is my hope too. I loved Charlie in the Flight 482. I thought, you know, she's really the only thing that made that weird web series good. And I'm really excited to see her come into the cast. It sounds like she's gonna be a series regular, so she will be sticking around for a while, which is super exciting. But yeah, I mean, I feel the same way as you do, Caesar. I just feel like it's not necessarily a bad show, but I don't love it. But I kind of feel like I need to keep watching it anyways, if only to support the Walking Dead universe. But hopefully I'm gonna love it. I think the more we get into it, I'm gonna love it more. I do. It's just gonna take time. Next question comes from Hunter RYC. Q&A, do you think we will see George, Seth, and Harry again this season? No, we will not see them again. George is dead. I'm not sure if, at least that's what I got from it. Maybe not everyone picked up on that, but when he stayed up there in the room with his dying wife and his dead daughter, I believe his very intention was to also take one of those pills. He was done with living, especially after seeing that. He said, you know, take Harry, get him away, you know, out of here, get him away. And he's like, no, I'm staying. And in that moment, I am 100% sure that he took a pill as well and died, or let his daughter eat him, although I doubt that he would do that. We did see the mom out on the dock, which I thought was very soon for her to turn and to walk all the way down to the dock. It seemed a little weird. I don't know. Did it not seem weird to you guys? But no, and I think Seth and Harry, they're not gonna go back to this island. There's no reason for our group to ever come back to this refuge. They know there's a risk of walkers there, and there's nothing left for them there. They don't need anything else. So no, I don't think we will ever see those three characters again, although I wish Seth and Harry the best, because I really wanted Harry to survive. It's unfortunate. It's like another people that more people will never know what happened to. The next question is from Mark C. If you could pick which two characters you could get rid of out of the series, which one would I pick, basically? And he says that he would pick Chris and Daniel's daughter, who he still cannot remember her name. It's Ophelia. If I had to pick two, I would pick Madison, because I don't know, I kind of like her, but I just don't really like her that much. And I would pick probably Chris too, because she just annoys me. Although I really did like in this last episode seeing him take out his anger and emotions by killing these walkers at the fence barrier that they had. I liked seeing him do that and taking out his anger that way, as opposed to, you know, putting it towards his father. But yeah, I mean, I think if I had to choose, I would choose Madison and Chris. I don't hate Madison, but I don't particularly like her or enjoy her character at this point. I'm hoping she'll change though. We know that there is some, excuse me, my phone. We know that there is some background story there. She even briefly mentioned in, was it this last episode or the episode before, when she hit her father, and that was, you know, basically she hit her father, and then, you know, that was the last time she ever did that or whatever. So there's definitely some family background there that we don't know of, and sounds like there were some maybe bad things that happened to her in her childhood as well. So the reason I'm saying that is because I am kind of hoping that they delve into that sooner rather than later, so that we can get a better feel for her and who she is and why she is the way she is. Next question. This one's from I Am Clementine, hashtag Weekly Walker Talk. I love that. Make sure you guys use that hashtag. Have you played the Walking Dead game by Telltale? And if not, will you eventually? The game is canon to the comic books, not the show. So this doesn't have anything to do with Fear, but I have played the free version that you can download on your phone. and I didn't want to pay for anything else past that. It's a really cool game. I loved it. I just didn't want to pay for it at the time, and I had also already watched, so for those of you who don't know, you can watch people play it on YouTube if you don't have, you know, the ability to play it yourself for some reason. And so I actually watched that entire, like the first one, I don't know what they call it, season 1, of the game being played through somebody's eye, you know, basically seeing the choices they made. And I loved it. It was so cool. It was almost like watching just a regular story move along. So yeah, I love that game. I probably won't buy it for myself, and even if I did, I don't have the equipment to like do it so you guys can watch me play it. I just don't have that. So you probably won't ever see videos on it, but I may play it eventually. I don't know, the whole thing. It was kind of intense, you know, there's a couple intense moments there. Next question is by Danny Rulen. You comment all the time. I don't know why I can't say your last name. You know who you are. Q&A. Since season 1, I have had my doubts about Strand and his actually being the owner of not only the beach house, but Abigail. In tonight's episode, we see Daniel point out to Strand that Strand said a $10 million boat rather than my $10 million yacht. Excuse me. And a bit later, we see Strand on what I assume to be a satellite phone. My question is, do you think that Strand is actually the owner of these properties? Or was the person he was talking to on the phone the owner of the properties, and that Strand works for him as a sort of right-hand man for this unknown person? And she says she thinks he might be a drug runner or involved in some other type of nefarious operation. I don't know if I would go as far as to say drug runner, that kind of thing. I will tell you that I actually did think that it was his house and yacht in season 1. I mean, why wouldn't it be? He seems like the kind of guy who always gets what he wants, who knows how to make money. He talked about how he is kind of like a closer, you know, he knows how to make deals and stuff. So it would make sense that he does have a lot of money and that he also has connections. But after hearing Daniel kind of interrogate him, I do have my doubts now that it isn't, you know, it potentially isn't his boat. It potentially isn't, you know, his property there. But I don't know. I'm very interested to see who it is he's talking to, because I do sort of feel like he doesn't necessarily have the intention of bringing along this entire group with him to wherever he's going. So, you know, he originally was talking to Nick as if he wanted to bring Nick with him. And then, you know, and then all of a sudden there's this bigger family involved here where there's a lot more people than just him and Nick that he didn't intend on, and he's brought them with, which is exactly what Daniel says in the episode. You know, you didn't intend on so many people. Daniel implies that he may potentially try and leave people behind. So, you know, now knowing that Strand is definitely up to something, I do sort of feel like he may try to leave, you know, some of the group behind, or, you know, I mean, he definitely doesn't want anybody else brought on board. So I don't know if I agree with you on the fact that he's like a drug runner type thing, because I feel like that doesn't have anything to do with the New World Order here. Like, that's just, it's, you know, maybe over and done with. But he does have connections, and he is a guy who knows how to make connections. And I think, you know, that was his plan all along, was he has known that he was going somewhere, and he has been planning, you know, to escape this way. I don't know. I'm probably not answering your question very well, because I'm kind of at a loss as to what could be going on with him to begin with. I don't really have many guesses. I just know that he does have some sort of connection, and it sort of sounds like maybe they're meeting up with another boat that may be bigger, may have more supplies, maybe even a big ship. That, or we saw all of the maps for Mexico. Now we heard from George and his group that the border to Mexico was completely shut down and closed. Now, if Strand has all of these maps for Mexico, maybe that's kind of the word that has been put out, that Mexico is closed, but that potentially, you know, whoever Strand is talking to has some sort of in where they can get into Mexico. I don't know. That's my guess. Rambling now. Next question is from T. Diana T. Diana Livesen? I'm really sorry, I can't say your name. It's funny because I see all of your usernames on like a daily basis, so I know who all of you guys are. But I've never, like, I just see it and my brain kind of says it to me, but then actually trying to say it out loud, I'm like, I thought that was like T. Diana Livingston, but now I know it's not, because I'm actually trying to say it. So I'm really sorry if I'm butchering all of your usernames here. Anyways, they said, I liked the episode. Q&A, you know, when Rick and gang are kneeling in front of Negan, I wonder where the Fear the Walking Dead characters are at in terms of the story. Pretty interesting to think about. P.S. Will you marry me? Sure, why not? Okay, boy, I don't even know how to answer that question because there's absolutely no way to know, because our Walking Dead group is so far into the apocalypse. What, we're like at 2 years plus now? So just to wonder and speculate where Madison and Travis and Daniel could be. I mean, who do you think is dead? Who do you think is alive? That's so crazy to think about. What are they doing? Gosh. I have to say, I definitely don't think Madison and Travis will both survive that far into the apocalypse. I don't think they're gonna keep both of those characters around. I just really don't. I think they'll be there for a while. They'll be together for a while, but I think at some point they'll definitely kill one of them off. I kind of feel like they'll kill Travis off because I feel like they're pointing towards Madison taking more of a lead there, you know, between the two. Maybe Ophelia would die. Daniel's gonna be badass. I hope he doesn't die ever. He is my favorite. Strand won't be around. Not by then. Gosh, that is a really good question. It's so fun to speculate those things. I really have no idea. You know, they did say though that, you know, in interviews before Fear the Walking Dead season 1 even came out, they did say that at some point we will get some clue as to the timeline where our groups won't meet up, not like that, but that basically something will happen in the show and we will realize, you know, what's currently happening in The Walking Dead. Does that make sense? Kind of like how in The Walking Dead, was it season 1, when we see from Shane and Lori's point of view at the car, when we see the napalm bombs dropping on Atlanta, then we know how that timeline lines up with in LA seeing our group leaving the beach and having the napalm bombs dropped on LA, right? So there will be those little clues that will help us kind of line up the storylines better, you know, as to better guessing where our Walking Dead characters are at that moment, you know, in the Fear the Walking Dead universe. So anyways, I'm rambling. Great question though. This is the last question from Jordan Brailsford, Q&A. Do you think Charlie will stay with the group and last long in the series? I kind of already mentioned this, but I'm pretty sure it's been confirmed that she will be a series regular. So I'm super pumped for that. So yes, I do think she'll stay long. I think she'll be a really great addition because she's so interesting. She seems like she really knows a lot about these walkers. And I hope that we, you know, and the infected, and she was like the only one on the plane who knew how to kill them and knew that you needed to stay away from them. So I'm really interested to see like what her backstory is and how she knows so much. And it looks like we're gonna finally get to see her in episode 3. So I'm super pumped about that. Okay, you guys, that's it for our weekly Walker Talk Q&A. Make sure that whenever you watch a live reaction video from me for Fear the Walking Dead, if you have a question that you want included in weekly Walker Talk, leave it in the comments of the reaction video, okay? That's where I will pull all of these questions from. So that's it for this video. I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you next with our dead ahead predictions for Fear the Walking Dead episode 3.